Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We're going to be using the Tengu to go to Nullsec to do some combat exploration. Previously we were doing high sec, then we did low sec, which I was actually really impressed by how chill it felt. And now I decided to go for Nullsec. After that I plan to go for wormhole space. Before I was contemplating or having a bit of doubts whether or not I should go into Nullsec because I really like the chill nature of low sec. In low sec you can find 5 out of 10s and 6 out of 10s. And I think that those DD sites are still pretty profitable for how much effort they require for you to do. I've actually not done a 6 out of 10 in a long time, but at least a 5 out of 10 was super chill. So I really liked how chill that was, and I would have liked to continue that. And I especially loved how in low sec you didn't have to stress about the bubbles. That was a really nice aspect to not have to think about. So this is something that we have to be wary when we're in null sec. We're going to have to go around and search for, or go around and just keep an eye when we could jump from gate to gate, that would make sure we do not end up in some bubbles. So I went with just continuing doing it into the next area of space, null sec. One, because we've done this whole series by doing high sec, low sec, and then the next natural step would be null sec. But also because I see that a lot of comments have actually said that I should do a null sec exploration as well. But then we'll later go and try it out in wormhole space. So the way I've got to here is that I've got the same Tengu I did before. I'm unsure if this is going to be enough tank for a 6 out of 10, but I think it is. I think it's just enough tank. Then what I had in my inventory was I had some filaments here that will assist me to enable me to get out of Nullsec a little bit easier. So we've got this Pochven filament, which takes me to Pochven. Then we've got this extraction filament, which has me go from Pochven to high sec or known space. So these two filaments are sort of our escape route. And if you forget which filaments these are, I've actually made a link on my bio. Go show info. You can see here null exit border / internal, and then you can take a glorification or extraction filament to get from null sec to high sec. And then we're going to use this needle jack filament here, which takes us to null sec. So we'll go here, and there's a few things we need to do. First, we need to activate safety. Then we're going to form a fleet with ourselves. We should be able to use it now. It could be there's a session timer. Yeah, there's a session timer as you see there. I should probably check my implants. Yeah, the implants are good. These are the ones that are nice for the Tengu. Something I was thinking that we could have perhaps done is to maybe remove this and put another multispectrum or a kinetic shield module. That could also be something we could do. I like how we're able to use 2 of these guidance computers though. But, we might actually have a benefit of just going with a kinetic shield module actually instead of this second one. I really like this one, but I can see us having a lot of benefits of it. So we'll go for that actually, quickly. Because we'll get a really good tank. Because I plan to do this exploration in either Serpentis or Garistas, because the Tengu gets the bonuses to specifically kinetic missiles. So I'm thinking that we're going to get most advantage out of the Tengu if we go to these regions of space. Actually, Serpentis, you do tank thermal, so I think that then you would have to switch to that, not kinetic, but we deal kinetic damage to Serpentis. So we can try going for Garistas if we can. Otherwise, we could perhaps carry a module in our cargo here, just in case. Shield, Hardener. Okay, so we've got a thermal one here. And then, do we have any kinetic ones? Kinetic shield hardener and a thermal shield hardener. We could go with these ones, so we can just check what kind of ones we can buy there, a little bit on the cheaper side. Kinetic shield hardener. Pith X-type kinetic is 23 million. And Pith X-type thermal is 21 million. We can go with one of these, I guess. So then we'll have boss tank against these NPCs. Okay, so we'll have to remove some ammunition here and just put a little bit of ammunition. There we go. X-type. And then we'll go with the Pith one, because the Pith ones are better than the Gist ones. The only thing is that they use a bit more capacitor and CPU. So we'll remove this. We'll have to unfit this. And we'll start off with the kinetic. And if we need to change, then we can always go with the thermal, with the Serpentis. So let's see now. Here's a thermal. See, now we got to here. Good. So you see here, we got 89% kinetic before we had 79, so we have almost 90%. That's really great. And then we'll put some rage heavy assault missiles just to fill our ammunition. There we go. Okay. Now we can undock. Let's just hope we don't get popped here in Nullsec. This would be a really chill fit to use in terms of tanking. I hope so, at least. I think this is enough tank. I mean, we've got a Pith X-type large shield boosters that tank so much. Let's use the noise here. Activate. What do we have to be invulnerable? That's because we have to move a little bit. There we go. There's a lot of conditions for using these filaments, but now we've fulfilled all of them. Okay, let's keep an eye on local here. Okay, we've got some friendlies here, and Inguristas as well. That's great. So we're in friendly space. That's perfect. And we can go for the precision script. Maybe you want to go for... We'll go for Caldari Navy first, actually, because I think there's a bit of small stuff in the beginning of the rally points. Are there any cosmic signatures? Only one. Oh, but there's tons of rally points. Yeah, that's great. This is the perfect farming system, and it's got friendlies as well. That's really nice. Feels almost like I cheated going to this area of space. Great. I wonder if we can dock up here. I think we should be able to dock up in these areas of these structures. Yeah, I'm not sure if Rage or the Caldari Navy is better to use against these cruisers. Definitely when we encounter the battle cruiser, it's going to be better to go for the Rage. Destroy all these guys. We can just scan just in case it's something, but I doubt it's going to be anything. Probably going to be something like Gurista's hideout or some really crap site. Usually is. Okay, we've got core scanner probes. Core scanner probes. We could also try going for some ports. Ports also... Yeah, after this we'll try doing a port, because a port can lead to 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10s can be a bit... I think they're definitely a bit more difficult than the lower tier, like 6 out of 10 and 5 out of 10, but they can also have some pretty good loot as well. So we can try actually doing a port. I haven't done a port, if I recall correctly, in this fit. So we can try upping our game from the rally points. Downside is that we're not going to get as much... we're not going to complete them as quickly. Okay, so that's a crappy data site, so we'll forget about that. It's nice to see we're able to apply pretty well to these guys, even though they're frigates. So now I was wondering, we're going to go over to Rage. There we go. After these frigates, we'll just go switch over to Rage. This will take care of them real fast. Let's try having all the missiles split, see if it takes them out quickly. Okay, it's not that quickly. Okay, so these guys are probably explorers then, because we can see that there's still some Sisters core scanner probes out, and we've pulled ours in. Let's see how well we're able to apply to the frigates with the Rage. Align to something, maybe. We just align to some random thing, so we can just warp out the second anyone comes in here. Well, these guys are blue, so hopefully that won't happen. Just so perfect that we are able to land in Garista space, exactly the one I had fitted up and everything. Yeah, not at all as much damage we do here, but I think it's also because these are dire Pithies, and dire Pithies I believe are the elite frigates, so they have a lot more tank than the standard frigates you would find. I'm not sure if we were facing elite frigates before. We could have. That could then mean definitely that the application was bad. But I believe we were facing standard frigates, non-dire ones before. Take him out. Good. Are we able to just go to him? Or go to this structure without getting out of range? Sometimes I wish I could just align but stay still. It's hard to get both. Warp 2. Is there anything that's in the other direction? This planet here is sort of in the other direction. Oh, more NPCs. Then we can destroy them pretty quickly so that when they respawn, we can just reposition ourselves. They don't have enough time to scatter out, because some of them like to kite and keep the distance, but we seem to destroy them before they're able to pull a significant range from us. What corporation are these guys? Let's check. Russian Space Community. Well, seems like we're blue. We do not seem to do so much damage with Rage against the cruisers. Actually, we're doing 190 volley, but I'm not sure. That could be because these are elite cruisers, they're dire cruisers, you can see that. So it could be because they have more tank as well. So I don't, if it's that we were facing standard cruisers before, I can't remember correctly. You could always check by rewinding this video. But I think that definitely could be then the explanation that they were standard cruisers before. Will do much more damage to them. I think they have high resist to the elite ones, but they also are faster. So will apply less, but they're not that fast. 100 meters a second. Ooh, that guy is getting out of range. He's able to get out of range, that little scrub. Gonna have to go with the range script there. There we go, now we can hit 30 kilometers away. We're wasting so much ammunition. No! We should go with Caldari Navy. It's important that we save on the rage for DED sites. That's unnecessary wasting of ammunition. It's a really important factor because you can run out of ammunition if you waste too much. I have before, and it was not a good time because you can't at all easily buy stuff when you're down here in Nullsec. Unless you're allied, then maybe you can. Let's see if we can. Rage, Heavy Assault, Scourge Rage. Oh yeah, we can. Okay, there seems to be Mothership Bellicose. Yeah, that is actually known Citadel. That is the Brave Citadel, I believe. I think it is Brave Citadel. So, we're in Brave space. That's great. I'm a part of Brave. Okay, 144. So it seems like we're doing less damage with the Caldari. Oh, okay, we're doing less damage. That's interesting to see. Or we can just take him out anyway since he's already rage. What a coincidence that we are able to warp into our allied space by using a needle jack. It's perfect. Maybe stay here for a bit. I should probably install a jump clone actually, because I've not really... I don't think I have a jump clone in Nullsec in the area of space we're operating in right now. Go into jump clones. Do we see anything? Kinaka Express. We do not need that one. We can destroy that one there. Perimeter, that's good. But we could actually install a jump clone. We definitely should do that actually. Let's do that. We can do that next time. We'll make our way towards Mothership Bellicose. Scourge Rage. It's a destination for that. So then we can always have a place to jump clone to if we ever feel like going to Garista's space in Nullsec. Okay, so we destroyed this rally point and nothing seemed to happen. Okay, let's go to the port. Garista's port. Here I think we will encounter more bigger stuff, so we'll be able to utilize our rage a bit more. Our rage. Okay, let's go for precision script. Let's go with precision script. Yeah, you can see here straight off the bat we've got cruisers and destroyers. We saw frigates before. And it's also good that they're a little bit far away, so if someone warps in on the site, then they're not directly on top of us. They could always be cloaked, and then they would be able to get close to us. Use the Afterburner. And use the precision script. Ooh, 400 volley, that's nice. Whoa. But these are standard cruisers, that's why. You look, you see standard cruisers doing a lot more damage now because there's no die. It's only Pith them. So we'll stand in the middle of this blob of ships here. Cheetah. Ooh, Cheetah. Cheetah is an interceptor. Okay, he's gone now. We can orbit this maybe 2,500. Let's lock everything up. This port feels pretty simple. A lot bigger stuff so we can use rage a bit more. But I don't like that we're using rage though, because that is essential ammunition for taking out bosses when it comes to the DD sites. Because often these bosses in the DD sites will have very high tanks, so you need to have good DPS to take them up fast. If you're in a 5 out of 10, then you can usually get away with using Caldari Navy, but I definitely think a 6 out of 10 you need some good DPS, and I could imagine that it's the same case for the 7 out of 10s. And even though we're not getting escalations, we're still going to get a decent amount of bounties here because these are Nullsec rats. We're going to be able to get a decent amount of bounties from them, and we're also taking them out in a pretty timely fashion as well. There we go. So we're taking out these cruisers, that's good, because these battleships are very slow. They won't really be able to run away too far. This is a nice little farming pocket we warped into. That was very quiet. Should probably farm here a lot more. I hope we survive to get to Mothership Bellicose. We can save the system as a DED farming brave. Then we know that this is a good place to be. Seems pretty quiet, and there's a lot of anomalies. So that's great. Let's go for these guys here. I've got it grouped 3 if it wasn't clear that I have this so that I can spread it out on the small stuff. Like say there's many destroyers. I have to just click. Alright, I'll just click F1, F1, F1. I just F1, 2, 3, and then it's already got all the missiles going on the destroyers. Pith Conquistador. So Garista's port here. I think that these Conquistadors. Where are they? Here we are, Conquistador. Okay, so we're soon there. We've soon completed the entire wave. If you leave 2 NPCs to kill in wave 3, and at least one of them is destroyed, the final wave will be directly triggered in this situation. Oh, okay, so we don't even have to destroy everything. We can just destroy them, but maybe we have to destroy everything to be able to get an escalation. Okay, there we go. No Dread Garistas, because you could see that it said that you could get a Dread Garista. They could be giving some good amount of loot. The Nullsec commanders are really valuable. I miss doing these kind of Nullsec anomalies like this in a farming fashion. That is a pretty relaxed style. It's not as intense, but it is quite relaxing. And you still have to sort of be on your guard because there could be someone who is in the system that we don't know of. A SERP seems to be the most beefy one since they have the biggest amount of bounty on them, 1.2 million. But I like this, it feels good actually doing the ports. You are able to apply to a big degree here with your rage. Maybe I could, in the future, perhaps, just load up on rage and do these ports instead of the rally points. I'm just not sure if our ship will be able to handle a 7 out of 10. Probably it will, but I've never done it before, so I'm not 100% certain about that. But we do have a serious tank with this kinetic resist here. I mean, look at our shield boost. 150 plus 7 of the passive shield. Okay, so we're over 160 basically. 160, and it'll be almost times 10 here because we've got 89% kinetic resist. Let's go for this usurper. Hope for the escalation. Scan here. Do we see anything? That was pretty quick doing a port. I like that. This feels a lot more interesting than doing the classical ratting for bounties because here you're more like, you know that you're going to get something by doing these. You're always going to get those bounty ticks, but there's always a chance you could get the escalations. And when you focus on getting them, I feel like that's a bit more interesting because these are those are more challenging and big loot drops than doing, like, for example, the havens to get max bounty ticks. Instead, you focus on doing these that may be a bit easier. But can get these escalations a bit easier because you can do for example, the havens. They'll give 10 out of 10 escalations, which are really good, but they're also a little bit harder to do as well. You can do them in a relatively cheap rattlesnake, but I like how we're able to just have one ship to be able to do these. Oh, 7 million. Oh, that was not such a good bounty there. It could have also been more if we were to, say, for example, have a higher bounty risk modifier. Now, it's probably likely that there's been very little combat done in this system because we've got a low bounty risk modifier. Otherwise, before when we were doing low-sec exploration previously, we were in a system that had, I think, 190%. So we got like 20 million and we would have actually got like maybe 10 or something like that. That was really good. Okay, so we completed that port. Did not, unfortunately, get anything, but could have always potentially got something. And I think we will get a bit of a bounty tick because we destroyed a lot of battleships just now, so we'll maybe get some more in the next tick as well. But I was glad how smooth it felt doing those ports, and we'll definitely go and explore here, see if we can go to the Mothership Bellicose, which is the home citadel of my corporation or alliance. So we can check how it's going on there, install a clone, so then we can perhaps regularly do this as like a thing where we go and do some exploration if we want to. That's pretty cool to see. Let's go and dock up here. Now, if you're not in a Nullsec Corporation, then this would be pretty much the same thing, except that I wouldn't be going to a citadel here. I'd do the same thing, try to find a system that is pretty chill and farm those ports there. But I understand that not everyone is in a corporation, so it's not you're not going to be like as privileged as me being able to farm in peace here, where there's just people here that are allies. But you could always have enemies here. This is Nullsec. Anyone can be here. Okay, can we repair? No, we can't repair. Okay, so Tengu Nullsec exploration, really smooth. We did a port, so hopefully we can get some 7 out of 10s in the future, and hopefully they'll go good, or even 6 out of 10s. But I'm actually more excited to do a 7 out of 10 because I've never done a 7 out of 10 before. So we'll see. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.